The squeak of my sneakers echoed eerily through the cavernous sports hall. It was almost midnight and the world outside was silent. Coach had left hours ago, muttering something about locking up, but I stayed. My free throws needed work, and I wasn't going to let my team down in the big game next week. As I dribbled the ball, the gym's fluorescent lights flickered. I glanced up, squinting at the rows of humming tubes. Great, I muttered, shaking my head. A low thud stopped me in my tracks. I froze, listening. It came again. A dull, rhythmic pounding, almost like the sound of a ball being dribbled. But it wasn't me. "Hello?" I called out, my voice breaking the stillness. The pounding stopped. The gym lights dimmed, and a faint glow spread across the far end of the court. I squinted, trying to make sense of it. Slowly, shapes began to emerge from the shadows. A group of students stood there, silent and still. But something was off. Their eyes glowed faintly, like dying embers. Their postures were wrong, bent and twisted as if their bodies didn't quite fit together. "Who are you?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. One of them stepped forward, holding a basketball. His movements were jerky, almost unnatural. He bounced the ball once, twice, the sound sharp and hollow in the still air. "Join us," he said, his voice low and echoing, like it came from far away. I backed away, clutching my own ball like it might protect me. I was just leaving. "No," another voice said, raspy and cold. "The game isn't over." Before I could move, the group spread out, forming a team on the court. The faint glow from their eyes intensified, bathing the gym in an unnatural light. "We play," the first one said, "or you lose." "What happens if I lose?" I asked, dread pooling in my stomach. They all smiled at once, their teeth too sharp and too white. "You join us," the leader said. I didn't have a choice. My body felt heavy, like lead, as I stepped onto the court. The ball in my hands felt wrong, its surface rougher than it should have been, like old dry skin. The whistle blew, though I didn't see anyone blow it, and the game began. They moved fast, too fast, their bodies bending in impossible ways as they dribbled and passed the ball. I barely had time to think before one of them lunged at me, their glowing eyes locking with mine as they stole the ball. The crowd of specters erupted in silent cheers, their hands clapping soundlessly. "Your turn," the leader sneered, tossing the ball to me. I tried to focus, my heart pounding in my ears. I dribbled, dodged one of the players, and shot for the hoop. The ball didn't go in. Instead, it hovered in the air, spinning slowly before turning into a dark, writhing mass. It fell to the floor with a sickening splat, oozing black liquid. "Miss!" one of them hissed, their voice like nails on a chalkboard. I stepped back, my shoes sticking slightly to the black goo spreading across the court. The game continued, each round more horrifying than the last. The hoop stretched and twisted, its net turning into long, clawed fingers that tried to grab the ball. The court beneath me felt alive, pulsating with each step. I was losing badly. "Stop," I gasped, falling to my knees. You can't stop," the leader said, standing over me. His face was no longer human, his mouth stretched too wide, his eyes burning like coals. "Not until the game ends." I looked around, desperate for an escape. The gym doors were gone, replaced by walls of shadow that pulsed and breathed. And then I saw it. In the far corner of the gym, near the bleachers, was a plaque I'd never noticed before. I couldn't read the words from here, but it glinted faintly in the ghostly light. "What's that?" I asked, pointing. The leader's head snapped toward it, and for the first time I saw hesitation in his movements. "Don't," he snarled. But it was too late. I bolted, dodging the players who reached for me with two long arms and clawed hands. My legs burned, but I didn't stop until I reached the plaque. The words on it chilled me to the core, in memory of the students lost in the 1987 gym fire. May they find peace. I turned back to the court. The players were no longer moving. They stood frozen, their glowing eyes locked on me. "You're them," I said, the realization hitting me like a punch to the gut. You're the students who died here. The leader stepped forward, his form shifting, his glowing eyes dimming slightly. We were, and now so are you. No, I said, shaking my head. I'm not dead. Not yet, he said, smiling that too wide smile. The court began to crack beneath me, dark tendrils snaking up from the gaps and wrapping around my ankles. Play, the leader hissed. Win, or join us. Desperation surged through me. I grabbed the plaque, yanking it off the wall. You want peace? I shouted. Then let me help you. The players screamed in unison, a bone-chilling wail that shook the gym. The plaque in my hands grew hot, burning my palms, but I didn't let go. The glow in their eyes flickered, then dimmed. One by one, they fell to the floor, their bodies dissolving into shadows. The tendrils around my ankles retreated, and the gym began to return to normal. I stood there, trembling. Thank you, a voice whispered. I turned, but no one was there.